All right, sorry about that, guys. Again, this is Ismortah. I just had a stream interruption, so I'll definitely have this be. I'll have a part one and a part two to the hunts for this lantern year. So for part one, before the interruption, it would just talk about strategy and what's going on for the stream, and for the second part, now we're starting to do it. Okay, so now I'm doing the intimacy event between Volva and Cloud. Okay. All right, so again, this is what the intimacy table looks like. So here's a picture of the intimacy couple. And that's what we're doing. So again, what I was trying to say before the interruption is I really want to have twins, so I have more people, and I don't want to have a savior because you can only have one savior at a time. So I can't, and I still have Eve out. And she'll still be around for another 2 hunts, potentially. Because she's 4 experience away from retired, and she gets 2 hunt experience every time she does it. Which is another reason why I didn't want to do a level 2 lion, is because then I couldn't use Eve multiple times to farm. And she's the best person to try to get those crit blows. So like if I just keep dodging and just only hitting with Eve, I keep getting those crits. Okay, so let's roll and see what happens. Wow, that was a really lucky rolls, man. We actually got 2 natural lanterns. 2. That is pretty crazy. So obviously, I can choose any one I want. I don't always have to choose the greater one, but they're both 10s. So it says on a perfect 10, you get Birth of a Savior, but I just don't think you can have 2 saviors out at once. But otherwise, 9 through 11 is to celebrate. The summit celebrates a twice fortunate event. A pair of healthy newborn survivors enters the world of twins. Okay, but I'm gonna check Birth of Savior just to be certain. But I could have sworn I read that if you have a savior, you can't get another one. But that's great. That means I got exactly what I was hoping for, which is twins, which is awesome. So I'm just checking right now, Birth of a Savior, just to double check that that's true. I could have sworn I read that somewhere. Birth of a Savior just tells you about how to determine your savior. Let me see here. Oh no, it says right here. If the settlements innovated hovel and they do not already have a savior. Okay, great. Alright, so what happens is, I'll say it again. The settlement celebrates a twice fortunate event. A pair of healthy newborn survivors enters the world. The settlement gains +2 population. Awesome. That is a godsend. Okay, so add increase the population by 2. So we go from 6 to 8. And then we add 2 people. We're going to add Jare. I'll play off my name, Jare. That'll be a male. And then I'll say I'll say they were actually identical twins because I got identical dice rolls. Let's do that. So, which means they're both male. So we have Jare and what's another playoff cool name? I could do actually my identical twin and do a play off his name. His name's Jonathan. I can do let's see. Something that sounds similar but not exact. Like my name, my actual name's Jarrett. I did Jare. Said Jonathan. I could do Jonas. Jonis. We got Jonas and Jared. That's what we'll do. And now I'll make a note about their stats, but I'll just only create a gear card for Jer and Cloud, because I do want to keep one male just in case this is a wipe, which I hope doesn't happen. I still have a male that can mate with a female, because again, Oko can't mate, right? So I'll just make a note. So I need to add star B, star L, star B, star L. And then the two people that participated also get bonus stats. And then I'll create the gear card for Jer and Cloud. Okay? So first I gotta do whoever's involved. So Cloud was involved, so we'll get an additional bonus. So I'll put another L. And then the other person was Volva, who gets a bonus stat. And I'm going to do it to speed. That way it's 0. Okay? Next up, let's down for a sec. I'll create the gear grid, the gear character card for Cloud. And also Jer. So Cloud is a male, 1 survival, also has Encourage, also has Dash, and then it's going to get 2 stats from the Light trait, 1 stat from the Balance trait, and +1 Strength. +1 Strength was from being born previously because of the high roll from his parents. The Light stat is whenever you do Intimacy, whoever's involved gets +1 stat, just like the Dark trait. Whoever's involved in witnessing death gets +1 stat, up to 3 people. And then everyone when they come into play, I have just get a +1 permanent stat of your choice. So Cloud, I'm thinking about, since Volva got speed, I'll give him also a speed. So I give him 3 stats and 1 the strength. So I know he gets +1 strength. I'll do +1 speed. I'll do the gamut. +1 accuracy and +1 evasion. So he's got his 4 stats, which then I can erase from the settlement to show that he already got it. Okay. So that's Cloud. Let's say Cloud does the hammer. Then the next one I'm going to create is Jer. And we'll have Jonas. I won't create it yet, but we'll be sitting at. So we have Jer. Male, 1 survival, also has Encourage, also has Dash. And we'll get 2 stats of my choice. I think I want to do 1 to accuracy and 1 to luck. That's what I'm going to do. So who's going out is going to be the parents and one of the kids and Eve. The reason I'm taking Eve is because before she vanishes from existence, I want to use her ability to get those crits by going into dreams and stuff. But also thematically, I gave her high luck to be able to provide for the settlement, is the idea. Okay, cool. So the only person I haven't given the bonuses to yet is Jonas, but I also have not created the grid yet, so that's fine. That's left a note. These are the people going out. So now next thing to do is update everyone's character grid based on their loadout, and then we'll do the departure, and then the hunt, and then the arrival of the showdown, and then setting up the showdown, and that'll be the stream. Okay. Let me double check that there's no more interruptions thus far. Okay. All right. So now let's create update the grids on everybody. Trying to see if there's anything that I'm missing. I don't think so. Because last time I rolled a 7 or 8, and this time I got a perfect 10. Okay. Alright. I think we're good. Okay, so for Cloud, I'll give him the hammers. So that means his speed is going to be a 3. With his current loadout, has 2 from Monster Necklace, so it'll be strength is +2 on top of whatever it is. So it's 3 plus 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1 is 6. Evasion with this loadout is just a 1. Luck is a 1, is a 0, I mean. And accuracy is a 7 plus 1, so it's 6. Okay. Next up we got Eve. Who is, again, going to use... I'm probably going to have Spec using the bow, just because I care about crits, not doing damage that's not a crit. Plus, you got more range, and you know, these Screaming Antelopes can be running away. So I think I'll have her, plus her proficiency as bow, is going to rely around the bow. So the bow is... Oh, I forgot to add the armor, though. So he's Skull Helm, he's got 3 to head, and 0 everywhere else. Okay. Eve has 2 to speed. Luck is 3 plus 1 is a 4. Evasion statically is a 1, and plus an additional 1 here, so that's a 2. Strength is 3, 4, 5 plus 2, so it's 7. And I'll make a note on top here, instead of club, I'll put bow. Because it would be good to actually have her get specials with bow, because then I can share that specialization, again, as a shadow ritual item before she dies. And then the accuracy is 7 and 7. And then she's got 2 everywhere for armor. Okay. Next up is Volva, who does have 3 courage, so that will come in handy, potentially. She's using the cat set, so let's see what she gets. So she gets luck is +1 with guitar, so her luck is 0. She's got -1 luck. Speed is going to be 4 plus 1 is 5. What I just noticed that's interesting is if you actually give the person with the guitars blood paint, you can attack with each guitar and have speed 5. Food for thought. Right now I'm doing it to capitalize on getting -1 speed, but that would be good. It just says here that when you attack with it, you can add the speeds together. It doesn't say you can't attack with both independently. That's very interesting. I might actually do that in the future. Give this person blood paint, potentially. And maybe also the hammer. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Okay, so speed 5, luck 0, evasion. No other evasion, so it's a 0. Strength is -1, but let's see what we got here. We have strength, we have 3 plus 2 is 5, -1 is 4. Because that's -1 strength. And then -1 accuracy. And the accuracy right now on this weapon is a 7. So it's an 8. So you see this person is going to be crappy hitting with this, and I actually don't want to attack with this. What I want to do with this is keep doing boss mending and circle it. That way other people have more chances to crit, and the fact that I can manipulate if there's a trap coming up is the idea. But yeah, pretty poor accuracy, but high speed. So I mean, so it could potentially do stuff. I haven't decided what I'm doing strategy-wise. I could determine that next stream. Oh, let me update the gear right quick. So her, it's 3 everywhere. I'm just noticing something interesting. The thing I'm noticing that's interesting is Volva, whenever it takes hits, well, but can't spend survival. I was like, what if I swap the two? But that's good. It's like her, she always converts damage to brain damage. So it's almost like Volva would be better here, because that way if this person takes damage, you take it not to your body, but to your brain. Because the armor would do nothing to you. I might actually switch these two characters completely. Now I think about it. But if the whole idea is to have it so I have a high chance of having speed -1, then I guess it would make sense to do this here. But right now what I'm saying is if this person gets hit, it'll still go all the way through, is what I'm saying. But the idea here is these two are going to be support roles anyway. It's these are the only two that are going to attack. That's my plan. This person keep doing boss mending and circlet. This person keep doing the hammer, potentially, or just bandaging and picking people up. These two are the only attackers, because I want to farm this idea. So I'll keep rocking with this idea then. If I decide to change up for any reason, well, now I have to decide now, actually. No. I just won't attack with these two. And if I know that the monster always goes after someone that's farthest away, or the closest, let's say, the closest threat, then I'll just always make sure that these two are closest. The one thing I'm thinking of is here is like if we switch these two, then at least Cloud would have ample armor to stay protected and can potentially also hit. Well, will do that. You know what? I think I will switch these two. Just because it's pointless to have armor that then doesn't count because you're immortal. Yeah, I'll switch these two, actually. I'll switch these two in a sec. So let me do Jer. Jer's up here. Jer is speed 2. Luck is 1 plus 1 is actually a 2. See, that's the other thing also. If you have high luck and you're on a weapon that you attack multiple times, that may be better down here also. Oh, but I couldn't because of the abilities, right? Because you need to have 2 blues. Yeah, that was wrong. Okay. I'll continue as I'm doing. I guess the only other thing I could potentially do is... No, because this would guarantee my safety. Nope, I'll stick with what I'm doing. Okay, so 2 speed, luck 2, evasion, you need additional evasion. No. Evasion's 0. Strength is 3 plus 2 is a 5. But then also can get plus 2 strength if the skewer, and again it gets -1 toughness to the monster if you do slam, which obviously you're going to do. Then accuracy is a 6 plus 1, so that's a 5. And then this, it's 5 to head, 4 to arm, 4 to chest, 5 to waist, and 4 to leg. Extra protection on the head and loins because you need to eat and you need to be able to fuck. So there you go. Okay, so the 2 I'm going to swap are these 2. Just because Volva is immortal. So I'm going to do these 2 gear grids. And then we'll do departure, hunt, arrival, showdown. Boom. Okay? So I just got to update now all this stuff. So, 1 sec. Okay, so for speed for this is a 2, but can attack twice. So speed 2. Luck is -1. So it's -1. Evasion is still a 0. Strength is 3 minus 1 plus 2. So 3 plus 1 is a 4. And accuracy is a -1, so it's an 8. So I want to do this hammer strategy, but it looks like it may not work because it's hard to hit with the weapon. But this way, if something happens to someone, it makes sense that that way she has protection. That way Cloud stays alive. Otherwise have 2 people technically with no armor. Is the whole idea here. Okay, now it's got to update the armor on Volva right quick. So she just has 3 to head, no armor anywhere else. But again, it doesn't matter because she has immortal. That means whenever she would take physical damage, instead she takes brain damage. And she also has no survival, is the other thing. So, meaning like this is someone that's at high risk of dying. Which then begs the question, what's the point of giving this person rawhide drum because they can't encourage, because they can't spend survival? That is actually a good point. So maybe I want to just change Boss Mindy and rawhide drum with these 2 people. That way, this person could encourage to pick these 2 people up who are the high crits, and this person can get in close to give these people bonuses to speed. Okay, sounds good. So Cloud, we gotta adjust it. So the speed of the weapon, it's 4 plus 1, so it's actually 6. Luck is 0 plus 1, so it's a 1. Evasion is a 0 plus 1, so it's a 1. He can't do Roar or get the bonus from White Line Boots because I don't have the gear combination, the affinities. Strength is 3 plus 1 plus 1, so it's a 5. And accuracy is a 7 plus 1, so it's a 6. Okay, so I think we're good to good. Good to good. That's great. Good to go. All right, so now what I need to figure out is, do I have any departing bonuses? First of all, everyone gets departing survival of 3, as well as any additional stuff. So we do have arrival stuff, but does anyone else on the gear grids have depart? This is arrival. Oh, this has depart survival here. But she's already at 5. Okay. So, everyone when they depart then gets 3 survival, but Eve gets 5. But Eve is already at 5 and the max is 6, so she goes to 6. Cloud gets 3 survival, so it goes from 1 to 4. Jer gets 3 survival, so it goes from 1 to 4. Again, the max is 6. And then Volva can't spend survival, so it doesn't matter if she gets survival at all, because she can't spend it. But don't you still get it? I'll say no. Okay, so we have 0 for survival. We technically have 0, 6, 4, 4 right now for departing. Okay, so now we departed. So now we finally get to play the game. Now we get to do the hunt. All right, so we got more population. Awesome. Now we're in a better place in case we lose somebody. We can and not get a TPK, still survive, which is awesome. Okay, so now we're doing the hunt. The hunt, as you see here, is already set up. Now it's got to specify who is who. So we have, this is Jer, this is Eve, this is Cloud, and actually now we actually have a female. Actually now. So I'll swap out a female for Volva. One sec. Get a cool miniature. Miniature. Let's see if there's one we haven't used before. Used in a while. I'll do this one. I don't think I've used this one in a while. I have 2 starting Survivor female miniatures. This one, she's actually topless, but just has her hand over her chest, her arm crossing her chest. Let's see. Pretty cool. All right, so we'll do this one for Volva. Kind of makes sense that her emphasis is on the lantern and not a weapon, because her weapon attack is so compromised that it's not beneficial to take her out. But you know what? Knowing that, maybe if that's the case, I should give the better strength to Cloud. That way it can do more damage. But I don't care about damage, I care about crits. So, Nah, I'll keep how it is. That's fine. All right, so now we're doing the hunt. So the order of the hunt. What is the order we want to do? I want to do Eve last because I need her, so I don't want to compromise her. So maybe I'll do this clockwise starting with Volva, because she has 3 courage. Of course, I noticed the stuff that's not is really worse off. So how am I going to do this? I think I want to have Volva go second. That way the person with the most courage is in lead for the unknown space. So I think I'll do Jer, Volva, and then Cloud, and have Eve go last. So I'll go counterclockwise, but I'll skip Eve. That's what I'll do. So let me arrange that order here. So Jer will go first. Volva, I'll have top to bottom here. Volva will go second. Cloud will go third. And Eve will go last if for some reason the monster moves or something. Cool. All right, let's do it. So we're going to start again with Jer, and we'll look at the first card. Oh, actually, before I start, let me write on here that we are doing Screaming Antelope. I didn't write it here because I hadn't decided for a long time. Antelope. We had a lot of stuff this lantern year. We had Regal Visit, Murder, a Hunt reenactment of the Phoenix, and the Hand, and an Antelope. That's been an eventful year. And by that, I mean a lot of death. I mean a lot of death. I mean, in total, we've had, oh, Jesus. Now I think about it, we've had like 6 or 7 people die this lantern year. Definitely the worst year as far as death in the kingdom of Kingdom Death. All right, so what's the first card? We have Devoured Grounds. Don't worry about reading it. I just want to give you an idea of what the format of the card looks like, because I know it may or may not focus. Don't worry about it. Devoured Grounds. The stone-faced ground is littered with the leavings of ravenous passing beasts. Half-eaten acanthus plants are strewn everywhere. If any survivor has 3+ understanding, the survivors may skip the next hunt space. Otherwise, roll a random HUD event. I believe I have someone with 3 courage, but no one with 3 understanding. So, that means we just proceed and roll on the table. So what that means is we roll 2 dice. This is the 10s, this is the 1s. Determine 1 out of 100 possibilities on this hunt table. So we got a 66. Okay, 66. We have Forbidden Word. There is a great rush of air. A booming, inhuman voice declares a single word in an unknown language. For one instant, the survivors understand. All non-deaf survivors gain +1 understanding and suffer 1 brain event damage. If they are insane, they also gain 1 random disorder. So that is good and bad. So everyone is not deaf. So everyone does get 1 understanding and 1 brain event damage. So let me do that first. So 1 understanding and 1 brain event damage. So Eve goes to light damage to brain and gets 1 understanding. Volva gets 1 understanding, is now at 2. And it goes from insanity 2 to 1. Cloud gets light brain damage and 1 understanding. And Jer gets light brain damage and 1 to understand. And then it said, if they're insane, they also get a random disorder, but nobody is currently insane, I don't believe. We have 1, 0, 0, 0. So yeah. Okay, so that's it for that event. So now everybody moves up. And now the leader who's going to go into it is going to be Volva to the next one. So now you roll on the table again. We got a 41. 41, this can't be good. Or maybe it can be good, I don't know. The 41 is called Nightmare. So I do notice it uses the keyword Twilight Sword. So this, I may house rule a little bit, concerning the fact that I started with Twilight Sword to give Mike an ability to maybe play off that item that I gave my settlement and the whole religion that based off it. So I'm just saying, like this, I might house rule just because I already have a Twilight Sword at the beginning of the game, which technically you're not supposed to have. Okay, so we'll see what happens. It says Nightmare. The event revealer dreams of the upcoming hunt. The great beast vanishes during their battle and secretly follows them back to the settlement. They hopelessly watch as it devours all they know and love. The event revealer gains 1d10 insanity and a -1 evasion token, and then there's lots of other stuff that happens. Okay, so the event revealer gets, first of all, 1d10 insanity and a -1 evasion token. So what's important is it says a -1 evasion token, so it's not permanent, but it just means more vulnerable to attack. But monsters already have a high chance of hitting you anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And especially not for Vaudel, because she takes brain damage anyway. Okay, so I'm looking for -1 to evasion. Okay, so she gets a -1 evasion token, because she's the event revealer. Oh, wait. Is she? Yeah, because it started with Jared. Okay. And gets 1d10 insanity. So she gets 6 insanity. So now she is insane. But of all people, it's actually great that she got the insanity, because that's how she absorbs damage, because she has Immortal. So she has 7 insanity and can absorb damage that way. So that's actually good. And then more happens. If the settlement has a savior, they appear in the dream and defend their home. The event revealer gains then also 1d5 survival. So I do have a savior. Eve is the savior. So that means she gains 1d5 survival. So she gains 4 survival. The max is 6. She's currently at 5. So she does go to 6, but again, remember, she can't spend survival anyway. Or at least she can't spend survival until I get rid of that disorder, which is also possible later in the game. Or, for example, if I do bloodletting, I can remove a disorder. And then, if no survivor in the settlement or hunting party has a Twilight Sword, the event revealer envisions a maniacal version of themselves wielding the blade and gleefully slaughtering the beast. They awake to find a Twilight Sword at their side, humming gently against their body. Instinctively, the survivor recognizes the weight of the weapon's curse and the promise of its power. So the event revealer gains Twilight Sword rare gear. They may also select Twilight Sword as their weapon proficiency type and gain +1 proficiency with this weapon. Okay, so in this instance, I think I'm going to house rule it. Because we have this religion, okay, having to do with Twilight Sword and this character. And this character, we don't know if it's with Twilight Sword or not, having to do with it. gave the whole religion of Ismortah and how those different traits, like I told you, light, balance, and dark, and shadow ritual, and how they impact the society. Then later on, we had a savior who has the ability to go into dreams. And then here, this person's having this weird nightmare encounter. And I would say, like, not only did Eve join the dream and defend the homeland, but then Isma was also in the dream and gave her the sword. Because she envisions the sword and Isma giving her actually her sword and having it appear. Not breaking the curse, but changing the ownership of the curse. Remember, for a long time, also Volva was one of the batteries who helped save Isma. And now Isma is passing the curse along to her. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to write on here about Volva's dream. See here, Volva parent, and I say had a nightmare and obtained Twilight curse from Isma. So Isma is still the bearer and still has the same game mechanics for the religion and how she operates, and meaning how she can stay alive. But now she no longer has the Twilight Sword. Now it's on somebody else. Which is kind of symbolic because she said her proficiency was also sword. Even though I believe it's a finesse weapon, but just symbolically, it's like she, was embracing that, embracing saving Isma. And then when this weird dreamscape happened, she was assisted then by Isma in the dream and Eve to empower her to get through. So because she gains the Twilight Sword rare gear, that means she has to permanently get rid of something that's on her person as well. Because to gain something, you have to lose something. So since she has to lose something, might as well lose the Skull Helm. Because I already have a Skull Helm, extra ones in Settlement, and also her armor doesn't matter because she's immortal. So it's kind of interesting the fact that she's immortal, and now she's getting the curse from the person that had immortality. So this is like thematically, this is so cool. How I'm rewriting this. So it's like she has this dream, she thinks she's immortal, she has Red Fist, and now I'm saying it's a blessing, but getting the curse from Isma. So we're going to get rid of the Skull Helm, and then the ownership of the Twilight Sword then goes to her. Which is now kind of a weird issue because remember she has negative stats, so I definitely did. That's someone now who's become more important. So now she also has a Twilight Sword, which is a finesse weapon. It doesn't count as a sword; it counts as finesse. But symbolic, like I said, like she saved Isma. She's a battery again. She wanted to learn to use that sword, even though she didn't know how to use it. Oh, this is very cool. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So she got the Twilight Sword, and they can immediately gain the weapon as their proficiency type and +1 proficiency with the weapon. So I'll do that as well. So her proficiency is now, goes from sword to Twilight Sword. And gains 1 specialty in it. Or does it say become specialist? Let me look. 1 weapon proficiency. Okay. So now she wields the Twilight Sword. I could also do the hammers, but now she also has the Twilight Sword. So let me update the stats on that weapon. Well, no, because I'm not sure I'm even going to use the weapon. I'll keep the same stats being the hammer for now. Okay, cool. That was very, very cool. So she gains Twilight Sword and +1 proficiency. And again, what it said is the event is Volva envisions a maniacal version of themselves wielding the blade and gleefully slaughtering the beast, being the Screaming Antelope. They wake to find a Twilight Sword at their side, humming gently against their body. Instinctively, the survivor recognized the weight of the weapon's curse and the promise of its power. So it's like, she had this dream. Eve helped in the dream. And Isma didn't look like also was in the dream, but then the weapon disappeared and now reappeared by Volva's side. Alright, cool. That was very awesome. Alright, so now we advance forward, and now the person going to lead the charge is going to be Cloud for this next hunt event, which is... I don't know why I keep getting this card, unless there's multiple of this card in this deck. I don't know why I keep getting Dead Antelope all the time. It's amazing. Okay, Dead Antelope. The survivors are struck by the scent of rotting meat wafting from a hulking corpse ahead. The event revealer may lead the survivors to investigate. If they do, gain 1 random vermin resource, 2 random Screaming Antelope resources, and roll a d10. On a result of 7+, the survivors are startled by the white lion. Otherwise, you don't see the lion. And if I don't do it, then I roll a random hunt event. So again, I don't want to chance fighting a level 2 lion. Do not. But then again, the thing to think about is what could happen right now. What happens right now is if I investigate the dead body, I by default get 2 antelope resources and 1 vermin. But then I have a chance of either then continuing and fighting a level 1 antelope, or I'm going to be fighting a level 2 white lion, is the thing. And I'm pretty sure that with the white lion, it'll be, yeah. So that's the thing. Now, you could argue that I now have more armor, because Volva can take 7 damage to the brain, because it has 7 insanity. And I have a strategy for critting, and I'd still get 2 antelope resources, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. It's basically gambling for these extra 3 resources, whether I fight my intended quarry or not. And I had this situation before. I'm like, because, you know, before I had in the beginning of the story had this mentality that always get free resources. Then I realized that there could be severe consequences just getting a vermin from a tree, and someone died that way before. But then random hunt events could also be equally terrible. Oh, I don't think I calculated this person's strength correctly. Its strength is 3 plus 2 plus 1. The strength is actually 6. I don't know why I put 5 here. It's actually 6. Accuracy is 6, yeah. Do I want to chance it? That's the thing. I mean, I could still farm Really the issue is, can I survive the White Lion level 2? That's the problem. What I'm worried about is the head attacks and stuff like that. I just think it's a bad idea. When I see a dead body, who killed the body? You know what I mean? Like, I really have to be careful about traps and bad shit happening. Because if something died, why did it die? So no, I'm not going to do it. We'll do a random hunt event. Okay, so this time we got 46. 46, it says river. The survivors come to the edge of a river of blood. The survivors come to the edge of a river of blood. Non-insane survivors suffer 1 brain event damage at the sight of it. So, Volva's insane. Everyone else gets 1 brain event damage, and everyone else already has 1 damage. That means all 3 of them roll on the... Oh man, this is bad. All of them then roll on severe brain injury table before we proceed, because they take 1 brain event damage. Okay, so I'll just go around the horn. So I'll do Eve first. That seemed like the hunt stuff is always really dangerous. I just didn't want to fight a level 2 lion because I just felt like that would be really bad, because people would get hit so hard, especially in the head multiple times for high damage, and only 2 people can have a good chance of stopping all that damage. That's what I was worried about. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so that's 46. Okay, so I'll do Eve first. I rolled a 2. Oh my god. I got Mortal Terror. No ifs, ands, or buts. The survivor is dead. So this whole strategy I had for farming, now she's dead. Shit. And like I said, like you're weighing risk, right? Like I just had fun with this fighting the cat, that he would just be moving too fast and hit too hard that everyone would die. But now I have people dying just from this fucking hunt event. So shit. I'm trying to see if there's any way to get out of it. She already had light brain damage, so I think I'm doing that correctly. Yeah, 1 to 2, you're dead. Mortal Terror. Fuck, man. I had a perfect plan with her, too. Shit. Alright, so let me update that first. So Eve is dead. Population goes to 7. Got a death. You can't cannibalize because she just vanishes from existence, but everyone does get bonus stats. Eve dies. Savior. Mortal Terror from... What was it from? River of Blood. From Scene River of Blood. Well, shit, man. Now my person that like I said, now I'm going into battle with 3 people. Jesus Christ. And that was my... Shit. Alright, well, next up is Cloud. Same problem. Because, see, I had a way to gain insanity, but it only happens when you arrive at Showdown, and I'm not there yet, is the problem. Oh my god! I got another 2. That's another Mortal Terror. River of Blood, same thing. Instant death. Jesus Christ. Man. It's... I may very well not be able to get through this campaign. Shit. 7 to 6. Cloud's dead. Now, she vanished from existence. Cloud, though, the body is there. And also people get stats witnessing the death. So if anyone stays alive, they will be able to witness. It just, man, I've never gone to a battle before and have people just dropping, like, nonsense. Like, the whole reason I didn't bring people with high insanity was because I knew if we killed the Antelope successfully, that then they would run away into the darkness. So it's, oh my god. Oh my god. I just got 2 people and I just lost 2 people. Jesus, fuck. So same thing, this one was Mortal Terror, Scene River of Blood. And that's why having no insanity is bad. Because it's like no armor for the brain at all. That's why it's bad. Oh, man. Man. Okay, one more to go. Four. Flee. You're knocked down and suffer knockback equal to your movement towards the closest board edge. Gain 1d5 insanity. Since we're not in Showdown, nothing of that happens, but does gain 1d5 insanity. So it's 9. And like I said, I round up, so that means gains 10 insanity. So Jer has 10 insanity, Volva has 7, and I'm going to the game now with 2 people. And now I'll go ahead and give the bonus stats also, before I continue with the rest of the shit. This is Hunt 46, so let me go back now. God damn, that is not the game I expected to be playing during this hunt. Oh my god. Okay, so let me do the stats first. So we witnessed 2 deaths. So each of these people, well, we witnessed only one. We witnessed 2 deaths, but you can only cannibalize once. So we cannibalize the body, so we do get 1 basic resource. So we do get a monster hide. But then each of them get 2 stats. So I might as well give her stats to make up for what she lost. So I'll give her +1 strength and +1 accuracy. So +1 accuracy goes from 8 to 7. +1 strength goes from 4 to 5. So she got back her negative stats, so now she's actually a viable player, except she has Immortal, so she needs a lot of insanity. And Jer, we will give +1 luck. +1 speed. Okay. And that's using my dark ritual, because I witnessed 2 deaths, and then I got a resource because I cannibalized, but I can't cannibalize someone that disappears from existence. Oh my goodness, that is not how I expected this to go at all. God damn it. And I'm back at fucking 6. Shit. Oh boy. Okay. Whew, man, this game. Okay, and it's not over yet. So we saw River of Blood. 2 people got more terror and basically were scared to death. And then so we harvested the bodies to what we could and gained power from that experience, but still we need to forge the river. So it says here, the survivors must investigate in order to pick up the quarry's trail. Each survivor rolls 1d10. But also, okay, I'll see if there's any bonuses to anybody. There is not. Okay, so each survivor rolls 1d10. So I'll roll for Volva first. So she'll investigate first since Jer was harvesting the body. So she got a 7, and Jer got a 6. So looking at the 7, you realize that the blood river is filled with the bloated corpses of unrecognizable monsters. You feel compelled to fish some out. Gain 1 random basic resource. Okay, so I get another basic resource. Broken Lantern. And then, if you're wearing heavy gear, you fall in and swallow blood and soft, bloated monster bits. Reduce your survival to 1. If you're wearing heavy gear. There's no heavy gear, so that doesn't happen. Alright, so now we do the next person, which was a 6. So the same result. You realize the river is filled with bloated corpses of unrecognizable monsters. You feel compelled to fish some out. So you get another basic resource. Another monster hide. So I'm getting the hides that I need at least. And if you're wearing heavy gear, you fall in and swallow blood and soft bloated monster bits. Reduce your survival to 1. So I do have heavy gear because I have the King Spear. So my survival goes from 4 to 1. It says reduce it all the way to 1, not by 1 to 1. Okay? And that's it. And then the next place to move the leader would be Volva. And then we find the monster. And we engage. That was not great. I'm glad I'm only doing a Screaming Antelope level 1 because... And that's the other problem when you do level 2 monster is you have to forge through more of this nightmare landscape and bad shit can happen even before you get to the monster. So like when you do level 2 monster, you also need the ability to survive. So like by having these instead be farming locations would save you, or having a whip, which I don't have yet, or help us having a full party, you know, stuff like that. But we find the monster, so now we can engage. That was shock full of interesting, right? There was a nightmare. I forget what happened at the first spot. Oh, the first spot we found a corpse and we decided, oh, let's dodge that. And then there was a nightmare. There was a river of blood. I forgot what the other encounter was that we did. But whew, man, crazy. Nightmares and rivers of blood. It's like something out of hell itself. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. All right, but we did get some hides, so we did have good stuff come out of it, kind of. We're desperately low on people. That's what I'm talking about. Like I had people die. just from not having insanity is why people died. So it's like you have to make sure you're not at 0 insanity, but you also don't want to be super high. But the fact that I had people with 0 insanity was a liability. Whereas if I had these other people with high insanity, they would have been okay. You know what I mean? I also got unlucky rolling low twice, but... Okay, so now what do we do? In the interest of time, because this hunt phase is supposed to be relatively quick, and since I have less people taking turns because I had 2 people die, I think I'm going to reserve setting up the showdown for next stream. So what I'll do, though, is just go ahead and do the arrival bonuses of everybody. That way, the next stream, it'll be figuring out the strategy with 2 people against Antelope, which, honestly, I have to go back to the drawing board and think about what to do. But, yeah. Okay, so now we'll do the arrival bonuses for everybody. All right, so we have, but you know, you can also say Eve at least helped out Volva before she died, and so did Isma, who's mained before she gets attacked again by the Hooded Knight. It's like now that she is the wielder of that weapon. Okay, anyway, so now we have arrival bonuses. So unfortunately, we don't have Rawhide Drum because that was on this person, so I don't get the bonus to Insanity. So I get Global Extra Survival, and then whatever the gears say. I'll start with Volva, who again also has a -1 evasion token. So she gets +1 survival, but it's already at 6. And then anything else on arrival? Nope. And then Jer Bear Stare gets an Acanthus plant, which we'll set up when I do Showdown next stream. Gets 3 insanity. It gets 3 insanity and 1 survival. So survival goes from 1 to 2. And then 3 insanity, so 10 to 13. And Volva, thank God, was the one with Red Fist, because she's the last person that has it, if I recall. So these 2 people at least get +1 strength. And again, you can use this like survival. And because of the ruling for this, I say you can place this in lieu of survival. But since you're not paying a survival, I'm saying that she can do it. Just like it did with the ruling for Frenzy Drink. So these both also have a +1 strength token. Cool. Whew, man, that was a brutal... God damn, man. That's gonna be like just getting through the hunt. You need to make sure you have stuff to just survive the hunt, to just get to the monster. And again, that's one of the problems with doing a level 2 or greater, is then you have to go through complete utter darkness, and if you're not prepared for this, you could also die. Because a level 2 and level 3 would start over here. Level 2 would start on the other side of the darkness, and level 3 would start at just the edge of that you would trigger starvation. Alright, well, we gotta see what we can do. I'm glad we're fighting a level 1 Antelope because, Jesus. Man. Tough decisions, but interesting story, right? Well, thanks for watching. Again, next stream is going to be then the showdown of just 2 people against a level 1 Screaming Antelope. And that will also include the setup of the showdown board. We've already done all of the arrival bonuses. Well, yeah, thanks for watching. Tune in next time for this handicap of a team trying to fight the Antelope. This is Ismortah, and I'll catch you next time.